Yo,
Yo.
yo, bro. How
I'm
you going, man?
all right. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, kind sir.
Been a minute.
It's been a little while. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I forgot my password to the laptop. It's been that long.
that's it. That's like a true story, nearly. I actually got myself I got a new laptop for Christmas, and I had to do the whole setup thing, but I forgot my iTunes. And oh my gosh, like, so I did kind of forget my password for like iTunes and stuff because I got a
Yeah.
Mac. So
Oh, that's awesome. So Santa found you? Santa found you
Santa
over
found
Christmas?
me,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes,
Yeah.
like no coal, but
Yeah. You got a nice
I got a
MacBook.
MacBook Pro,
See,
bro.
to all the listeners out there, we're reinvesting in this thing. It's yeah, no, we're putting back into it. So yeah, no,
Well,
it's cool, man. It's good to be back doing this. Like I said, we haven't done one since yeah, before Christmas.
yeah,
We obviously did plan to do one the week before Track Attack, but unfortunately, yeah, we had some pretty crazy weather in Victoria at the start
yeah,
of the year.
unprecedented.
Yeah, it was, man. It was pretty wild actually. And yeah, we did plan on doing an episode. We had someone locked in to do one with
Hmm.
us, and we will definitely have him on hopefully in the next week or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately there was some pretty
Bushfires. We
wild,
had
yeah, we
big
had fires
bushfires.
basically. So for all
Yeah.
our listeners in around Australia and overseas, it's obviously summer here in Australia. And yeah, we had some pretty wild bushfires.
Yeah.
Not far from Shepparton.
And from here too, like,
Yeah, from Bendigo as well. Obviously, yeah,
yeah,
that's
like,
right. You
my
guys
daughter
had
was,
them.
having to move her horses, and, she had to go
Yeah,
out. But,
yeah,
Harcourt, we
yep,
lost the TV, those big TV antennas, so
yep,
there was no mainstream media getting through to Bendigo. So it was,
yep.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was
no,
pretty
it was
crazy.
crazy, mate. I sort of hit a bit close to home. So one of my best mates, we sort of went to primary school together and went to high school together, and we've remained pretty close friends ever since then. His family has a property about 35-40 minutes away from Shepparton.
Hmm.
Um, and man, when we were kids, that's just where we went. Grew up, like like learned to ride motorbikes there, and we had some
Love it.
amazing times, man. And
Yeah,
yeah, they didn't live there. It was more just like a holiday sort of place for them.
yeah,
Had a
yeah,
little shack and yeah, unfortunately they lost all that. And
yeah,
a lady that I work with pretty closely at my work. Shout out to Marg. I've been thinking about her a lot because she hasn't come
yeah,
back to work. Yeah, she unfortunately lost her home and everything that she had. So,
yeah. Shout
um,
out. Yeah,
yeah, shout out to those guys. Shout out to all the CFA guys. Shout
yeah,
out to all the recovery guys that are still up in the area. Helping with livestock and fencing and just trying to get the little community back
yeah.
on their feet. And I'm sure the same thing's happening over your way, brother,
It is.
with
Yeah, like,
Harcourt and Bendigo. Yeah,
yeah. Well, they lost like 60 houses out at Harcourt,
yeah, yeah,
and the big
yep,
cold store there, where all the fruits stored. And,
yep,
so there's a lot of stories. And, and our good mate Jenko, up there in King Lake, there was a call for, that whole area to be evacuated too, because
yes, yep,
fire was coming, across
yep,
from Alexandra,
yep,
and all that way again. So that would have been flashbacks. And, we saw the post on social media that he loaded up the bikes, and Ursula and Ripley, and down the mountain they went. No,
yeah,
no second thought. And
no,
and
no,
then we were all kind of thinking too, hey, maybe no BSX.
of course, yeah,
Which, I
yeah.
mean, there's more important things to worry about, but
Bigger picture. Yeah,
bigger
bigger
picture.
picture.
But you're
And
like, oh,
we can touch on that too,
we can
like.
touch on that for sure.
But
And
yeah,
so it was a really weird time. And I think to sit down, you and and I think, it's because we as much as we muck around, we do take this seriously,
yeah,
as in doing this podcast. And I think to sit there and, while everything else is going on would have been a tough
Yeah,
ask.
definitely, man. It just didn't, yeah, look, it didn't sit right with me to do it.
Yeah,
Another thing, it's a totally secondary thing. We were having blackouts and stuff as well.
mm, yeah,
But yeah, like I said, the last time we had some really bad bushfires in Victoria was the Black Saturday fires, and it
yeah.
was a it felt a lot like that day.
It,
And like I live I moved back to Shepparton quite a fair few years ago now, but when the Black Saturday fires were on, obviously sort of it affected that area like King Lake and King Lake West. Well, I used to just live at the bottom of the hill there, so
mm.
I just remember that day and that day a few weeks ago. Just yeah, it just felt like that so much. So yes, it just didn't feel right. So apologies for anyone. I'm sure you've all been missing us greatly, and
But it's true.
or maybe
Like
not. Yeah,
it's no, I've I'm sure you have, because we have been, out and about, as we're going to talk about Track Attack
yeah,
and BSX itself. The day a lot of people came up and, hey, when are you doing your next potty? Hey,
yeah,
hurry up, do your next potty.
yeah,
I was stoked. You would have been stoked. The
yeah,
stoke was high,
yeah,
and it's just so cool to get that feedback out and
yeah.
about, and we
100, yeah,
appreciate
we do.
every little
Yeah,
bit of it. So
yeah.
yeah, we here we are, guys and
Yeah,
girls.
yeah. So yeah, thanks everyone for sticking behind us. And yeah, we
Yep.
copped a lot of messages over the time that we were away.
Hmm.
And the episodes, obviously we get the analytics and stuff like that with our
Yeah.
views and stuff. And it's just been ticking along in the background. Or both of us, had a bit of time off over Christmas. We sort of went away up to our little cabin in the mountains there for a couple of
Hmm.
weeks and did a
Hmm.
heap of mountain biking, which is really cool. I've kind of we talked about this before we jumped on, but yeah, it's been I don't want to talk about myself, but
Um,
it's been a couple of years or maybe
yeah,
even a few years for myself without going to it too much. I sort of haven't been riding bikes at all, really. I had a few health issues a few years ago, and that kind of put that on hold. And me myself, yeah, we took the mountain bikes up to the cabin, and me and Layla, and we did some family rides as well. But yeah, man, I've really found that love again for being out on the bike, and I've actually done a fair bit more riding. Since then, I actually got up this morning and headed out into the
yeah.
trails and started and yeah, so I've really enjoyed that. I've really enjoyed that.
I used to love riding with you, man. Like,
Yeah,
I used to love coming across the Shep when we were,
yep,
the old the speed line team there, and
yep.
I've got some awesome photos and stuff and of you and me riding and all that. That time is just
Yeah,
such a
it is. It is. It's time. It's time. It's time away from work. It's time away from the computer. It's time away from your phone.
yeah,
It was just yeah, a really good time. So yeah, had a good break. Obviously came back, started work, and then obviously we had Track Attack, which we'll get to that in a minute.
yeah.
But yeah, man, it was good just to have a good break. But we're back now. BMX is in full swing.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to another year of hopefully bringing people some insight into
Oh,
BMX. Yeah,
100%. And
yep,
I think we touched on it, and he'll be hopefully listening to this. A gentleman at BSX informed me that he's from Casey. The guy that what's his name? Is it Alan? No. I can't think of his name. And he was saying that he gets the new members to listen to our
Oh,
podcast.
Adam, righty,
Adam, that's it.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yep, yep, yep,
And
yeah. He
I
told
and I
he
just
told me that
wanted
as
to,
well. Yeah,
be on here now and say thank you so much. Like,
yep,
as a personal shout out to him.
yeah,
That's so humbling, and we appreciate that. And
yeah. No,
he
righty's a
said,
legend. He's
yeah,
such a good
yeah,
dude. Yeah, yeah,
and I just sort of, I was chatting to him for ages, and this is the thing, like. I even had people tell me that they've listened to all of our podcasts at least 3 times. They just
yeah.
have it on
Right.
a loop. And I'm like, in an all intents and purposes, as much as that probably,
Sounds weird.
sounds like it's like Chinese water torture, but like,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
should do that down in Guantanamo Bay, like. I'm sure they would tell him anything. Yeah, just turn dozer and
Turn them
fuel off.
off. Turn them off.
Turn them off, man.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
white light and
So nah,
yeah,
cool. So yeah,
but
we're back. Are we gonna call this season two? I don't know. What do we do? I don't know.
people put it in the comments. Tell
In the
us what you want.
comments, do we have yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
Is it
it's good.
season two? Is
It's
it like
I don't know.
not a comeback tour? It's not a Johnny
I don't know.
Farnham,
We
but
never
like,
went anywhere. We just had a holiday. We just had a holiday. So
yeah, yeah, that's it.
nah, it was cool, man. And you caught up with your fam, caught up with Ken's, and spent
Yeah,
a bit
that
of
was
time with
rad. Yeah,
with your partner. So that was
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So it was
Yep.
rad, man. Like, got my bike back.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. The gold
Yeah, the
plated
gold-plated
OS. Yeah.
unicorn,
Yeah.
Supercross unicorn,
That was
the
a bit of
special
a that was a
cup.
bit of a saga, wasn't it?
That was a learning.
Yeah.
That was definitely a learning.
Yeah.
And note to self, like probably pay a bit more attention and yeah, so it wasn't like I was trying to be a smarty pants, but I just kind of didn't really did the thought process,
Yeah.
I didn't have the think tank going, hey, bro, you should maybe ring up. I mean, I must admit, I did ring Qantas and someone answered and then they hung up. And I was like, oh, maybe. And I just kind of put it in the too hard basket,
Yeah.
thinking that, oh, it might be that much to send it, because I could have technically just bought another Stay Strong bag,
Yeah.
but it was like 300 US.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that would have equated to,
Mm.
less than what it's cost me to send it home.
Yes.
And
You
there
could have
was a
bought
time there where,
you could have bought two. You could have bought
well,
two
the thing
bags.
is, I could have technically bought a return ticket with United Airlines, $990
Yeah.
return,
Yeah.
flown to LAX, basically waited in a hotel just outside, the airport there, got it FedExed to the airport, and then just jumped back on a plane and come home.
Yeah.
And that would have been a cheaper option at the
Yeah.
time. And Dave Ramey from Supercross slash Talker, he was awesome. Like he lives in Tulsa, and he
Yeah.
went to the end of the earth
Yeah.
to find me a really, really good price to
Yeah.
try and get my bike home,
Yeah.
even with bike flight. And I think the best he could get was 780 Australian dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
And pretty much so then Gus from Profile, he reached out and said, look, when Gary puts in another order, we'll put it in the next order.
Yeah.
But just get
Yeah.
it sent to Profile down in
Yeah.
St. Pete.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it happened. And so it was a 5 week saga and
But you got it back. You got it back.
I
Yeah.
got it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've just put some new stickers on it because the
Yeah.
airline decided they didn't like my stickers. So
I've heard that. I heard they've got a bit of a
and
a distaste
I
for BMX
wrapped
bike
mine.
stickers. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even Shane, I mean, and I fully wrap my bike like a lunatic,
Yeah.
pool noodles and the whole thing. And it's like, well, come on. But I know they have to obviously go into your bag, like customs or whatever, and they
Yeah.
check to look for, contraband.
Yeah.
And I get that 100%. But,
Yeah.
it necessarily, how many bags are going to go through,
Yeah.
it doesn't get put back in the way Shawnee put it back in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So therefore, and then, like
Yeah.
bags on top of bags and whatever
Yeah.
else. But
They get thrown around a bit. But at the end of the day, you got it back. You learned
I
from it.
did.
You learned
Yeah.
it. You
So
learned it from it.
I
And
did learn it from it. I'm not from Minnesota.
no. Oof. Yeah.
We'll edit that
Oof.
out. We'll
We'll cut
edit
that
that.
out. We'll cut that out. So no, it was good, man. Like I said, so yeah, you had a good break, and
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I did, and I went up to BSX as before the event, helped out,
yep,
rode, even got my jump. Look, it might be a little thing, but started to jump again. And that's a big thing for me. I really miss the freedom of jumping my bike.
yep,
And, I've got a good local track and there's a lot of serious big stuff there. And
yeah,
you're either, and for me, I just wasn't ready to sort of tackle that sort of stuff.
yeah, yeah,
but Shane's backyard or BSX has, there's not there's not like there's no pressure, and you can
Yeah,
just hang out and just
yeah,
and so
chill.
that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of where I got my jump back on. So I was
No,
jumping a
awesome,
couple of things, and it just felt good,
awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
and like I said, it's not for me. Those are the things that I like achieving. It's
Yeah.
just for
But
me, it's
they keep the stoke too, man. They keep the stoke. Like,
yeah,
I was the same. I know, obviously, I'm a bigger dude. I know that. Most people listening to this show know that. And I know the first few days that we went up in the mountain, it's a bit of a struggle. I struggled for the first couple of days, but once I sort of got my eye in and got my groove back and
yeah, bro,
um, it sort of all started to come together again.
yeah.
We'll call it whatever you want. But it just felt so good to be, to be sort of bombing down hills and going through turns and, getting the wheels off the ground just a little, even if it was just a little bit.
You definitely
Um,
know how to ride a mountain bike. I've seen.
and that's just what gets you, that's just what gets you stoked on riding. So
Yep,
I'm
yep.
sure you're the same, getting up to Genco's and the crew that you're with too. That's just as important. I seen like Nicky. There's a few dudes like Nicky Shooter. Shout out
Man, I
to
love
Nicky.
that man.
He's a,
He's a
he's
legend,
yeah,
man.
we love Nicky. He's just such a good dude. But Shane was having some ride days up there in the lead up to it. And yeah, it's just mates on bikes, man. It's just mates on bikes,
Yeah,
and that's what it's all about.
I think the thing for me too, and I think this is a bit of a everybody just brace yourself. This is a bit of a love-in because me and Stu we haven't really spoken too much. So the thing for me was exciting and awesome to see is the smile on your daughter's face that you were out riding with her.
Yeah, yeah,
And the smile on your face too, because I've seen a few sneaky photos of you,
yeah,
and you needed this, brother.
yeah.
And
I
I'm
did.
just
Yeah,
so stoked, man,
yeah,
because off podcast, you and I talk about it a bit, where you do miss riding and riding BMX
yeah,
and hanging out, like you say, hanging out at the track. It
yeah,
doesn't, not smashing out 800 gates or doing
yeah,
sprints. It's
yeah,
just having a cool, chill track session,
yeah. Just
you
having a
know
roll around.
and
Yeah,
then going
yeah,
out for lunch later or something.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think, and I really hope that you and
yeah,
I this
yeah.
year can possibly we can get that happening.
Yeah, I might have to build up. I might have to build up another cruiser.
Talker.
So, shout out to Bill if you're listening.
Yeah, yeah, talker.
If you're looking to a talker down to
A 26er.
Australia, yeah, or yeah, maybe even a shine if Bill's listening, if he's got any of them kicking around. Probably not.
No, oh
Um,
no. I
but
mean,
no, look, I did, man. I enjoyed it, and it was something that I really got to. I got to share the love with my kid. Yeah, we did, and then we went up Australia Day as well, weekend and did a shuttle day, and that was awesome because that's more my jam. I'm built for going downhill. I'm not built for going uphill. So, to be able to chuck my bike on a bike rack and get driven to the top of the hill, I'm not gonna lie, was pretty
thou
good.
shalt honor the Earth G forces.
Yes, I think my knees were thanking me for that too because
Yeah,
they were not liking the write up. But anyway, that's what we did. So,
yeah, man.
but before that, man, yeah, we obviously kicked off BMX because ultimately that's what the show's about. Track Attack 2026.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, another one in the books. Yeah,
And
it was cool. It was really cool. I'll get this out of the way. So my awesome wife, she did the midweek ones. So just full transparency. I didn't. I'm gonna carry on
we
like I
don't need
do.
another
Yeah, I know, like
hero.
I do all the heavy lifting, but yeah, look, shout out to Kaz and another mate of mine, Nath May.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a mate from up here.
Legend.
Legend, yeah, absolute legend. He
He
did
talks to
the
me now.
midweek ones. Sometimes, man, they were going up and driving back. So to give you an idea,
Yeah.
Casey, I think was I can't remember which way it was, but Casey was either Tuesday or Thursday. I can't remember, but they didn't get home till 2:30 in the morning. Like that's a massive day, like huge, and the kids were still awake. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
But no, it was another awesome week, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
yeah,
it's almost it is a must do, especially for your kids. And I know that probably sounds silly, but just as a parent of a kid that does it, I don't think there's any better racing, especially at the start of the year. I know we probably touched on this in the last episode, but it's a really good opportunity to a sort of see where you're at,
yeah,
blow the
yeah,
cobwebs off because you do race so much. There is so much racing. But also, yeah, to give yourself an opportunity to sort of work on some stuff during the
yeah,
week. And look, people do track attack for different reasons.
yeah,
I have no doubt that, there's 100 kids there that probably turn up and they don't really care where they finish. They're happy just to ride and be a
yeah,
part of it. But I guess and then for some other families, especially with the Worlds coming up in Australia this year.
yeah,
Um, and the Aussies being brought forward like they have, it was a good opportunity, I think, for a lot of kids and adults too,
yeah.
and maybe even some of the pros, just to sort of work on some stuff and sort of see where they're at. So yeah, it
Oh,
was really cool.
best trainers racing.
Yeah, 100%,
Yeah, yeah,
100%. So and it equates to, for those people that are not familiar with track attack, it's six races in 9 days. And then obviously we have BSX as well, which we'll talk about that later. That's like a whole nother separate event. But yeah, it's six races, six different tracks, 9 days. And they're big days. The weekend
yeah.
ones, they sort of start. You're at the track early, and you're sort of there till, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But yeah, it's just a really cool event. It obviously this year, I think I talked about this before, but I was a bit like skeptical with the numbers just because we have the worlds here in Australia. So people are obviously trying to, qualify for that and probably save their money.
Yeah,
Things are tight, man. Not everyone has the cash to sort of splash around.
yeah.
And then you've obviously got the nationals coming up in Shepparton as well in April.
Yeah.
So for those families that live in WA or Queensland or wherever, Tassie, there's a fair bit of traveling involved this year for BMX.
Hotels, cars,
Yeah,
you know,
that's exactly right. So, but the numbers were off the charts, man. It was incredible. Like there was people from Singapore, America,
Eng-
France, New
England,
Zealand,
England,
yeah, everywhere.
everywhere. It
It
was
was really
it was the
cool.
United Nations of BMX.
It kind of was. It kind of was. And just talking to so many
Love it.
people and talking to so many people, man, that were like, "Oh, this is our first one." Because it's a weird thing. Like you see
You want that
someone,
feeling again. You want that feeling.
yeah, but it's like you talk to someone, you're like, "So is this like your first track attack?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's our first one. We love it." And then other
Yeah,
people are like, "No, we've done it 4 times or 5 times." I don't think there'd be too many people that would do it and go away and say, "Oh, we're not doing that again." Yeah, I
no.
think most people that come and experience it would have had a really good time. Yeah. So shout out to the Eastern region. Obviously, this is another thing that some people may or may not know. It's a separate event. It's not run by Oz Cycling per se. It's all still licensed through Oz Cycling, and the tracks are Oz Cycling, obviously accredited
Accredited.
tracks.
Yeah.
But it's run by the Eastern region of Victoria, Melbourne, if you want to narrow it down even further. So yeah, just want to give a massive shout out to those guys for it's a massive week for them.
Ooh.
Um, and yeah, I just want to say thanks for the epic week of racing.
So, and normally, I always find the food at the tracks is always
Yeah,
so good. Track attack, like
yeah,
I don't know. It's just one of those things. I know it's probably like a
yeah.
small detail, but
They
I
really
think
step it up. Yeah,
they step it up, and I think
yeah.
they understand that we're at the track for a long time,
100%. Yep, yep.
and
100%. Yep.
it is hard as a parent, and when Ken's and I were racing, and Jake, I guess, but mainly me and Ken's. to take food with you and to make sure because it's summer, try and
Yeah,
keep it cool, and it's
yeah,
like opening the Eskies, the ice is melting.
yeah,
Sometimes it is easier
yeah,
to just buy the food from the
yeah,
canteen. But the
yeah.
thing is too is that is helping the club.
Well, and this is the thing. That's the thing because for a lot of the clubs, the canteen is where they make their money, right? So,
Mhm.
and then some, and look, this is going to sound silly too. So for me, the benchmark is so Casey, like Casey have got, their food is like I think they got like a chef on their committee, right? So, but the reason why I'm saying that is they have a really good facility. They're a bit like
Yeah,
Shepparton. They're really
yeah,
lucky. They've got a really good facility, and look, and I'm lucky too. Shepparton. I don't know, like people without banging on about Shepparton. We have this new facility. It has like a full commercial kitchen in it, right?
yeah.
And you go to a lot of these other clubs, and they're still operating out of a shipping container or an old school portable, or and it's like a couple of mums in there running one deep fryer, a microwave, couple of boys on the barbecue, and they're trying to feed 1,000 people a day. So just
Yeah.
shout out to, like I said, shout out to all the people, not just the people that run the event, but the behind the scenes guys. All the mums, the dads, the nans, the aunties, the uncles that just get behind because, as we know, BMX doesn't run without those guys.
No, not yeah, it doesn't run
Yeah,
without volunteers. And
yeah,
all the tracks seemed really well presented. Big,
100%. Yeah,
like just
100%. Yeah.
and there again, all that track prep, and we do have this phenomenon in Australia. I don't think it's all around the world. We get these little cretins that are riding the e-bikes and stuff on
Ah, yeah,
digging them up. I know we don't want to necessarily go on about that, but that is another, it used to be remote control cars and stuff like that. These kids used to dig up
yeah,
our tracks and all that
yeah,
sort of stuff with petrol powered, remote control cars and dig holes in jumps and dudes on my we get our tracks sealed and with the glue and all that sort of stuff. Now, they're doing all this they're actually purposely going through the
yeah,
dermis of
yeah,
this circuit. I don't know, is it a
yeah,
dermis? I don't know.
yeah. We'll call it that.
And it's just making it hard because
Yeah,
unlike some parts of the world, like like say I guess like America, their trucks are privately run and they seem
yeah.
to be able. Not that everybody's got a lot of money, but
No, but they manage that. I think they manage it because and most of those tracks, because they're private track operators, there's always someone there. So
and I'm
yeah,
just saying these kids are just absolutely just having a laugh, like
destroying. Yeah, yeah, they
destroying it,
are.
and they think it's funny. They're smiling at cameras,
Yeah,
and parents
yeah.
driving them there.
Ripping cameras off walls. I saw that. I
Yeah,
know another local club, Ballarat. Shout out to
yeah,
to Benny Ryan and Coops and those guys over there
yeah,
because
yeah,
they just had a whole bunch of damage done to their
yeah.
track. Like the kids were up and they ripped all the cameras off the walls. It's just senseless vandalism. Let's just call it for what it is.
Yeah,
And all it does is it just adds extra pressure and extra stress onto volunteers that aren't paid. They're doing it to provide a facility for kids to utilize. And unfortunately, I don't know. It's look, it's a minority. It's a minority of society. But unfortunately, it's just
starting to
part of the
become a
game.
little bit of a, it's
Yeah,
starting to be a little bit, and we sound like we're on a bit of a rant, but the thing is too is I think a lot of kids like video themselves doing crazy stuff on crazy,
yeah, yeah,
TikTokies or whatever,
yeah,
and like 99.9% of the population are all G, but now. It's like, look at me, I'm doing this, and then
yeah,
someone goes, "Oh, watch me, I'm gonna do this," and without it was like a story I heard about Sheep Hills, which is those famous trails in California. Now, some kids got on those Cirons and they destroyed
yeah,
Sheep Hills. Now, that is such an icon. I mean, I don't know how long, like 30 plus years.
yeah, yeah,
Now, there was some guys, especially OG guys, that wanted to go and find these kids
yeah,
and do whatever.
yeah,
And, they found out because, there were security cameras of them leaving the area and stuff like that. Now, Mike Hucker, famous
Yeah.
BMXer, S&M
Yeah.
rider, Red Bull athlete, etc., etc. He goes, no, no, no. I have an idea, and he went and spoke to the kids' parents. He spoke to the kids. He goes, I'm giving you this opportunity to come and help rebuild
Yeah.
the track or the jumps, the dirt jumps. Work with us because the alternative is not necessarily a nice
A good thing.
a good
Yeah.
outcome.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
kids, they agreed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they went and they put in the hard work and they helped rebuild the
Yeah.
trails.
Yeah.
And then Mike Hucker said that he was even gonna go to the point where they were gonna build them. Like he was gonna say, well, you go build yourself some trails. You know how to do it now.
Yeah.
There's an area over there. Maybe you could go and build some stuff that you guys could ride and you guys could look after. I don't know what happened with that story,
Take
but
just take some ownership. But
yeah,
also too, this is the thing. A lot of people a lot of people don't, because they don't have the attachment to the creation of it.
yeah,
They're happy to destroy it. So
enjoy
yeah,
it.
without going too far down a rabbit hole, obviously. Uh, but yeah, there was obviously, and I think this sort of stems from in the lead up to Track Attack. There's
Yeah,
a
I
couple of
saw that.
clubs, I think maybe Eastfield and
Yes.
maybe one or two others. The parents, and the Track Attack, it's a busy time of year for people too. Like it's sort of just it's on the back of Christmas, so a lot of people are sort of just going back to work. I know I was. That's why I couldn't go. That's why I couldn't go
Week.
to the week ones because it was my first week back at work.
Yeah.
Um, but it's yeah,
I just thought,
it's just really disheartening when you see these parents that are out there doing all this work. It's not
yeah.
paid. It's all volunteers, and then a bunch of people just come through and just destroy it and
And
think it's
its
funny.
thing is it's hard because like I saw Peter Hart and the crew from Eastfield really work hard on the
Yeah,
track and then have it destroyed
yeah,
about 2 days after, and
yeah,
it's destroyed in a heartbeat. And you and I know, and there's a lot of people out there that are watching and listening, know how hard track maintenance is or doing work
100%.
around a
Yeah,
club.
yeah,
You're giving up a lot of your free time
yeah,
and because you do it for the love and
yeah,
sometimes you probably don't want to be doing it, but we all got to come together and work on a track to
yes,
make it happen. And then to see it just like we all see it destroyed by weather or whatever
yeah,
else,
yeah. You can
but
live
to
with
see
that.
it,
Yeah,
yeah, you can deal with that. But to
yeah,
see it just, you know, messed up in a couple of hours by some kids that just don't care and
yeah,
think it's funny.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
It's
know.
sad.
And what are we going to do? We're going to have every track with like 10-foot cyclone fences around.
And that was the conversation that I seen sort of online during the week. I don't know if you might have seen the same one,
I
but
did, yeah, yeah,
it's, and the question was asked, like, what do we do about it? I know for us, Shepparton, and look, Shepparton track is in a fairly isolated area.
yeah.
And look, we have an 8 meter as well, so that's part of the reason why we have a fence. But if we didn't have, and look, don't get me wrong, that fence still gets breached. But if we didn't have fences around our track, that place would be destroyed on the daily. Like there'd be dirt bikes on there, mate. There'd be blokes in four-wheel drives trying to
Yeah.
drive around it. So yeah, we don't know what the answer is
Polaris's and
there.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, you don't want to see tracks locked up um, permanently. Like if they can be, like I know your track, Bendigo, your home track is, it's open to the public. People can come and ride it, and that's a great thing because how many people have started racing BMX because they went past on a Sunday afternoon with their dad and said, "Oh, can we bring our bikes down here?" And they have a ride, and
Mm.
that's sort of where a lot of people's
I,
BMX sort of starts off.
there
But if
there is
it,
a fence around it now, as you clearly know,
yeah,
because
right.
someone tried to drive their car on the
Oh,
last.
is it fenced off now?
Yeah. Yeah,
I actually did.
it's not a cyclone fence. It's red gum posts and a fence
Oh,
around it.
right, okay.
I
But you
think
can
it's
still access the track though. You can still, yeah,
you
yeah,
can there is like certain
yeah,
gaps.
yaps, yeah,
But I mean, if you wanted to get a Modi on there, you could probably still do it, or
yeah,
the Cirons or whatever.
yeah,
You definitely have them on.
yeah,
But there was a car and actually it was driven on the last straight. It
Oh,
did
that's
so
wild.
much damage, and it was beach or
Yeah.
belly, whatever you want to call
Bellying out. Yeah, that's
it,
wild.
bellied out, and
Yeah.
that was the last straw. And the
Yeah.
community just went to the council and they just thought, I mean, I don't know the background story, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they would have just gone, enough is enough.
Yeah.
We spent all this money on this, and I saw kids peeling, like the second corner,
Yeah.
peeling the surface off,
Yeah.
just thinking that's funny,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
breaking it and then peeling it off,
That's wild. Yeah.
but even back in the day, like without, man, we're telling stories, but even like growing up myself next to the Werribee track or the Wyndham track, because the track back that's isolated, and we used to
Yeah.
have people dumping, stolen cars on the track and burning them, and dudes riding, two-stroke motocross bikes around the track all the time,
Yeah.
and it was just it's I think ever since BMX has started, there's always been some sort of
It's always been an issue. It's always been an
yeah,
issue, but
and
yeah.
still here we are, what,
Yeah.
30 plus years, 40, whatever, and we're still
Still
saying the
complaining
same
about
thing.
it. Anyway, that's all right. That was a rabbit hole. We went down that, but yeah.
Ooh, off with his head,
Oh, yeah. But no, Track Attack was sick, man. It was good. Sort of don't really know where to start with the racing. The racing was really good, sort of all week. The best thing too, especially for people like myself that couldn't get to every round to watch, was
Mm,
the live stream. The
yeah,
live stream
yeah.
was really good this year. So that's really cool. And then obviously too, if you have a young one that's raced, and obviously they can't watch it because they're competing. But it's kind of cool for them to be able to have something online, excuse me, sorry, that you can sort of come back and sort of rewatch and sort of relive it. So that's another cool thing that Track Attack does. So
I
um,
think I think ever since, for me, this is ever since the state titles at Frankston and they did the live feed,
yes,
because I couldn't go the first day, so I was watching your daughter and and a few of my friends like the
yeah,
Perry boys and all that sort of stuff. I got to watch in the comfort of my just over
yeah,
there on the big TV, and it was rad. Like the
yeah,
coverage was so good,
yeah,
and ever since then, whatever's happened, are they using the same company? I don't know. Same deal
yeah,
with Track Attack. I was just like, this is dope.
yeah,
It was good coverage. It was clear. There was no
yeah,
glitch. And I'm like, here we are, 21st century. I'm sitting in Bendigo here,
yeah,
and it was so rad. So shout
yeah,
out to
yeah,
whatever's happened behind the scenes,
yeah.
because I was loving it,
No, it
So
was really cool. And I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching one of the races, one of the rounds, it was yeah, it was super windy. It was super windy.
Casey,
Yeah,
Casey.
super windy, super cold. It just didn't look like I'd wanted to even want to be there, even if I could have been there. And yeah, I was on the couch. I had to get up to open the door for the pizza guy at about 7:30. That was like my biggest. That
But
was
there's
my
not there's
biggest.
no there's not enough 2 minute noodles at the track to
Nah,
make that
nah,
uncomfortable.
nah. So yeah, that was my biggest inconvenience for that entire day was
That was
having to get up to open the door for the pizza guy. So,
Yeah, man.
um,
That was
yeah,
good for tall ships.
yeah,
That
yeah.
place. That's about it.
So, and look, shout out to, like I said, shout out to the riders because it was a bit of a crazy week too, weather-wise. It didn't get super hot, but there was a lot of days, man, where it was just windy and the wind was just relentless. A lot
Wasn't
of
BMX
the,
friendly.
no, it definitely wasn't BMX friendly. I know there was a few, like I said, I'm probably going to get fact checked here, but there was a couple of rounds, um, Frankston, maybe even Casey, where
Well, Casey definitely. I mean, we
they
watched
couldn't
it.
run the pro straight
No,
because
I mean,
it was that windy. And look, to be fair, and I've got my opinion on that. I think that's a good call. A, I don't want to see anyone get hurt. Obviously,
mm,
that's number one. You don't want to see anyone get broke off because they get caught in a side wind. But I also don't want to watch racing where two people can maybe get through a section of the track jumping and the rest have to roll it. So I think they made the right call. Um,
100%.
and my understanding is, once again, I'll probably get fact checked, but I think it's the right. I think the
Our
right.
podcast.
Yeah, no one's going to fact check us. No one. Um,
No.
Kaz might do that when she's editing it, maybe. I don't
Yeah, maybe.
know. But I think it's the riders make the call. That's my understanding.
Yeah,
And, I think they have the final say. And I think it was good that
all came together,
they all
and
came together. And yeah, because the wind, man, it was just some of the days was like 40, 45 kilometer an hour
it's
winds.
crosswind, and
It was gnarly. Like Frankston, one of my favorite tracks. Like I love Frankston, love everything about that place.
yeah, yeah.
Good burgers. Um, but shout out to those guys.
Shout out to the
But
burgers.
though, yeah, shout out to the burgers. But they had just because they're on the sort of like near the water there, man, just crazy wind, and it was relentless. Like
Yeah,
it just didn't stop. So yeah, shout out to all the riders that braved those conditions.
'cause,
I
I mean
know there was,
their pro
yeah,
straight is no joke.
no joke. It's uphill, it's steep. Want to give a bit of a shout out to one of the girls, Taya Rufus. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
practice there. Look, and I don't know if that was wind related or not.
We could fact check that
Yeah, we can fact check that. If Taya wants to just hit
in
us
the
up in the
comments,
comments,
please.
let us know.
Yeah, or Karen.
We actually really appreciate that, Taya.
Yeah,
Yeah, she had a bit of unfortunate accident, bit of a
bit of
Indonesia,
a
a bit of a
bit of a
trip,
mischief.
yeah, trip over the bars, which resulted in a fairly severely broken collarbone.
Yeah,
Which was gnarly, man. And that was like in practice on the first day. And
yeah,
I was thinking then, I was like, oh man, just hope that's not a prelude for the rest of the week. And look, I'm sure there was probably a few other people that sort of got, um, yeah, had a few misses during the week, but I think for the most
yeah,
part, everyone got through it pretty
yeah.
unscathed.
Yeah, my new international pen pal, good old Chris Olden.
Oh man, he was a legend.
Yeah,
I
good.
had no idea I had no idea who that dude was. I remember
Me
just
neither.
watching this guy in practice. I'm like, who is this dude? He's a beast.
Yeah,
And yeah, so we obviously had a few international riders. So he's a Frenchie, yeah,
yeah. He's a
yeah,
Frenchie, and yeah, he had that big crash at
yes,
Eastfield.
Eastfield, yeah, yep.
Yeah, and I just noticed on his because we follow each other on socials now,
Oh, okay,
and
righto,
we got that sort of deal going.
yeah,
And
right,
yeah, he was getting his arm re-stitched back up again. So
right, yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
it was a pretty
yeah,
decent
yeah.
crash. But
There was
yeah,
a
I just
few, man, but not.
nothing
I just
too crazy.
nah. Look, I call it the sheet. The sheet of death. When they, like a horse race. When the horse races crash, they bring the sheet out, and
Or you end
they.
up looking like a Lygon Street kebab when you're
Yeah,
up in the silver paper.
yeah.
They roll you up in the silver paper and you look
That's
like a
the
Lygon
a
Street
kebab
kebab.
kebab. Yeah, that's a funny story.
That is a funny story.
We're not gonna go there.
No, no, no,
We're not
no.
gonna go there. But
We'll
yeah,
get fat jokes.
I didn't see any I didn't see any blue sheets of death. So that was really well. Yeah, no, we're trying to be serious here.
We are,
Yeah,
we are.
that was good to see. So yeah, all the riders definitely got through.
Mm.
And yeah, it was just another
The-
cool week. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the thing is too is that like, because I went down and watched Knox on the final day,
Yep.
and I was just, I love Knox. I think it's a bit
Yeah,
of
I
a,
do too. Yeah.
it's a bit of what do you call it? It's not a heritage club, but it's kind of like a heritage, like it's
Like a
been around
legacy
for
club? You call it like a
legacy
legacy
club. Yeah,
club?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit
Yeah.
like F1 where they have
Yeah.
Silverstone and Spa.
I raced my first Aussies there in 1998, and for the most part, the tracks
Same
was
configuration.
pretty much the same. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Few of the jumps have changed, but for the most
But
part,
man, watching, I mean, I just love watching the race in there.
yeah.
And I mean, the skill level is, in the stratosphere now, and
Yeah.
the riders, they get around in such a way. You go, geez, I wouldn't mind riding like that. But to watch the top fuelers to get around, it's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just how they make that. It's
Yeah.
it's awesome, and it's just so exciting. And to see again, and you and I talk about this, watching the crowd on like when
Yeah.
they ran the pros at the end,
Yeah.
which is which
Yeah.
is what they do,
Yeah.
watching everybody on the fence
Yeah.
juicy as
Yeah.
for the pro
Yeah.
main,
Yeah.
like men, women, junior,
Yeah.
etc.,
Yeah.
etc.
Spot
I
on. Yeah.
love that, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
And
it.
I also think the other thing they do too, which is unique to Track Attack, is that in the motos, they run the junior superclass and superclass at the start. And
Hmm.
what they do, the reasoning behind that is that so all the kids, all the sprockets, all
Get to
the
watch
younger
it.
riders, they get to watch. So what they do
Yeah,
is normally at a normal BMX race, the bells
yeah,
go off, riders to staging for Moto
yeah,
1, blah blah
yeah.
blah blah blah. If they're any and if the kids are anything like my kid, has to be at staging 3 hours before they race because they think she's been racing for 4 years and she still thinks she's going to miss her race. She's never missed a race ever. But it's really cool that the kids they set it up so that the kids can watch their heroes, their
Yeah,
pros, get to watch them race, and then they do like a second call to staging for the kids and the
I
and the
love that,
and the
man. I
amateurs, man. It's
love it.
really cool. Yeah.
It needs to be
Yeah.
adopted across
Yeah.
the board because
Yeah.
we need to energize these kids
Yeah.
like we need to have kids that are. I mean, I guess we'll touch on this a bit. The trading cards
Yeah.
that goes hand in hand,
Yeah.
right? Watch, you have a favorite rider. My favorite rider's Stuart Kelly, and if I can get to watch you after my race, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of us, probably don't understand that, but we were little, and yeah, we did. If I saw Stuart Kelly,
Yeah.
like it was, that's a hypothetical, but like that's how it is.
Yeah.
And even though
Yeah.
time has changed, kids are very impressionable,
Yeah.
and we need to have kids
Yeah.
that have their heroes
Yeah.
and want to go
And,
watch Stuart
and
Kelly race.
that's right. Not actual Stuart Kelly, but you know, um,
I'm sure there's another Stuart Kelly that races
I'm
BMX.
sure
Just
there
get
is.
over yourself.
I'm sure
Get
there
over
probably is.
yourself.
We'll cut that out. Right. So, but yes, I know 100% what you're saying, and for me, this era I don't know we've talked about this before, right? So when I was a kid, um, I used to, it was kind of weird, like coming from Shepparton back in my day when I was
Mm,
a kid racing. We didn't have any pros, right? So like at our club. So
okay.
the Lee Egans and the Brenton Coopers, not Brenton, I don't think Brenton ever went pro, but he won a world title. But the Lee Egans and all that other Shepparton, they'd already well and truly retired, right? Like
Yeah.
they were done 10 years before I even come along, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me personally, I probably looked up more to American pros
Yeah.
than pros in Australia.
Yeah.
Um, and it was probably because I didn't know a lot of them because we used to get BMX Plus. For me, that was like, oh, these guys are the pros. These are the real, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are the real pros,
That
right?
was your encyclopedia.
That's exactly right because that was
Yeah.
my Bible because that's all I
Yeah.
had, right?
Yeah.
So, but I didn't know, I couldn't tell you. This is going to sound really dumb, but
No, 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 no. Dumb's a harsh word.
I couldn't tell you who were the top dogs in Australia from like say 94 to 98. Like the Howies and all that, yeah, but
Johnny
I yeah,
Katakazi,
all
Billy
them guys, right?
Dixon,
Yeah,
Cruzy,
but
all
back
those
then
guys.
and even now, not really. But these
Mm,
kids now,
mm,
all these kids in Australia, all these Aussie kids now, they all know who Josh Jolly is. They all know who Joel Marsh is.
yeah.
They all know who these dudes are because kids are like have access to their life via I'm going to
Social
say
media.
social media, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
we
Yep.
all know that's a bit of a topic here in Australia, whether kids should be on social media or not. There's a lot of things that aren't good about social media, but there are some good things about it. And one of them is, like I said, kids know, like my kid, right? She's 10 years old, but she knows all the pros. Like she knows who they are, she knows what bikes they ride, she knows where they're from, she
Yeah.
knows
Yeah.
what their results are
Yeah. Yeah.
because they're so much more accessible now. Um,
Yeah.
and the trading card thing was just one aspect of that. Which for me, like I said, man, I sort of saw it at Nationals last year was
Yeah,
when they
MacArthur.
sort of
Yeah,
launched it.
yeah.
Track Attack, man, was just a whole nother level. Like kids, kids were, kids were coming to the track at Track Attack with their folders. They've got like folders
I
full of,
secretly love it.
oh,
I love
bro,
it.
so do, man, so do I, so do
Yeah,
I,
yeah. I love
and
it,
I
man.
love it for a lot of reasons. But
Yeah, yeah.
I
Keep going.
watched. Look, I don't like I said, I don't want to bang on about my kid, but I saw her get to the track every day,
Yeah.
and she'd grab her folder out because she
Yep.
would, she might get a pack of cards during the
Mhm.
day or whatever, and she like had her doubles, and she was off talking. Like I saw her so many times talking to like 13-year-old
Isn't
boys,
that awesome?
and she's trying to get her hustle on because she had cards she really wanted to get. And I don't know who this kid was, but she somehow swindled some kid this card that she needed. But it was a swindle. I think it was a swindle. Anyway, but
Isn't Yeah.
this kid had a card that she wanted. He had a card, sorry, Layla had a card that he wanted, and they did a trade. In
Yeah.
Layla's eyes, she thinks she got the better deal. This other kid probably got
Well, there you
thinks he
go.
got the better deal. But what I'm saying is those two kids wouldn't have interacted with each other at all.
And that's what it's all about,
That's
bro.
what it's all
Like,
about. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I mean, that's like you say, there's so many reasons. And for me, and we have touched on this. I know it's like we're going around and around in circles, but the thing is, my greatest memories from BMX, and even going back to talking about the pros, because I mean, there is a little bit of age difference between us, right? And
Yep.
I did BMX in the 80s
Yeah.
into the 90s and then obviously stopped racing I think 95, 96, and then obviously came back early 2000.
Yeah.
So I kind of saw a different, but for whatever reason I was kind of able to hang out with the Brett Screwses and the
Yeah.
Darren Mays and all those guys, Billy Dixon and Howie a little bit, and all those guys, and even in Victoria, you had Grant Williams, Paul Librio, Glenn Stevens, and that it was just you just hung out with them, and they were
Yeah.
just so accepting, and all the New South Wales pros would come down here and take all the money away from the Victorians,
Yeah.
but you got to know them, and for me getting to know them was such a highlight for me. I never won any crazy titles,
Yeah.
racing titles, but my friendships
Yeah.
and the memories I have from that. And I think, like you touched on, I think these trading cards is enhancing that. It's getting kids off their phones. I don't want to
Yeah.
sound like a
Yeah.
parent,
Yeah.
but they're getting out, interacting with other kids,
Yeah.
and sharing a passion
Yeah.
like, hey, I've got this card. I know you need this card. Let's do a trade,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because they want to have the collection, and okay, this is the business side. Like, okay, so Time are providing a service, and they're a company that want
Yeah.
to make an inroad into people. I love
Yeah.
their t-shirts.
Yeah.
Their t-shirts are dope, and they want to put money back into BMX and they want
Yeah.
to invest in BMX. And this is a way for them to earn an income because that's
Yeah.
what we need, but also to put back and to put
Yes. Yes.
a positive spin on their business
Yeah.
and trading cards, t-shirts, and
Yeah.
then they can support riders
Yep.
like
Which they are doing. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ballermain and obviously
Yeah.
Josh
Yeah.
and Josh Switek
Yeah.
and all those
Ollie
Ollie
Moran.
Moran
Yeah.
and all those guys, and
Yeah.
without us buying cards and T-shirts and
Yeah.
supporting that business,
Yeah. Yeah.
that knock-on effect doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
hand washes the other, that sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
No, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So
And this is maybe we're going too far down the rabbit hole on this too, but what I've kind of
we need a
what
ferret to get us out of the rabbit hole.
so but what I've sort of maybe this is me just wishful thinking, but it's because these kids are off talking about BMX with these cars and getting to know the riders.
Hmm.
It is becoming a passion, not just a rigid sport where you turn up at the track, you sit in your chair, you're chasing hill times, you're chasing lap times.
Yeah,
It
bro.
just, it becomes so much more than that,
Yeah, man.
it
Yeah.
becomes so much more than that. And look, I see it a lot, there's a lot of kids that you see that are going out and, they're getting sixth, seventh, eighth every single race, but they're still coming back with a smile on their face and they're out there having fun, competing. And but those kids still, same thing. They know who Josh is, they know who Ollie Moran is, they know who Joel Marsh is,
Yep,
because
yep.
they're more invested in the sport
As a whole.
and as a whole, not just, oh, I wanted to try BMX, but I'm coming to the track and I'm getting my doors blown off every time I ride. It's becoming, I've seen it shift in the last 4 years where I feel like it's becoming a more of a, the kids
Community.
have, yeah, one, man, I'm so glad you said that. It's becoming more of a community, not just this is the sport I do on Sundays. I turn up and I have to do really well, and if I don't, my day's a waste. I'm really finding now that I don't know. I've seen a bit of a shift. Maybe that's just me.
A good name for a podcast. Just BMX.
It's just BMX. That's
Because it
right.
is
So
really, it's just
it is, man.
racing is this
That
much
much of it. That's right.
because
Yeah,
there's so
yeah,
much else you can do on a
yeah, yeah,
bike, your whether
yeah,
it's your race bike, park bike, dirt
yeah.
jump bike, whatever.
Whatever. Yeah,
And here I am at 54 years old, still riding BMX
yeah,
because it just there's nothing else like it.
yeah,
Nothing.
yeah,
And it's just
yeah,
such a and it's I think it's just it's good for you.
yeah,
I mean, not and that sounds so cliche, but
yeah,
I think sometimes I feel like I have the Peter Pan effect. I've never grown up, but
yeah, yeah.
it doesn't that
It
that's
is, and it's just like I said, it's become a real community.
it has.
And this might be irrelevant too. I know that the one of the days when we're up in the mountain, Layla was wearing one of her Track Attack t-shirts,
Hmm.
and this lady rode past with her daughter. And she's like, "Oh, that kid's wearing a Track Attack t-shirt." Turns out they're from Melbourne. They're
Hmm.
from Eastfield. The girl was in the age group above Layla, so 11 girls.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I actually didn't know who they were. But we sort
We're all
of,
being Mexicans,
well,
man.
that's exactly right. We ended up chatting for like half an hour,
Yeah,
like while
man.
while we're waiting for the shuttle bus.
So good.
Yeah, we just ended up just chatting, and it was a real connection. And we talked about Track Attack and how good it was because she said it was the first time they've done it. And she was just talking about how good it was and how much they really enjoyed it. So,
Full circle, bro.
I feel like it is, man. I really feel like BMX is definitely going, yeah, it's sort of
Because
coming
I
around.
think people are discovering that like you pointed out, it's that there's more to it than just, going to gates on Tuesday,
Yeah.
Thursday, going to racing on Sunday or Saturday or whatever. There's this whole community
Yeah.
behind the
Yep.
curtain, so to
Yep.
speak,
Yep.
and it's good. It's a good, wholesome,
Yeah.
And I know we're a little Michael biased, but the thing is,
Shout out to Michael.
shout out to Michael Bias if you're listening. And I know Jenko got his jersey, so he's a pretty happy cat,
Oh,
the old
nice.
Jenko. But anyway, so I think people like, and it's a good community. It's a good, wholesome community.
Yeah.
There is like so many good people in BMX.
Yeah.
It's a it's an awesome family. I consider a lot of people like yourself like family.
Yeah.
Like literally, I
Yeah.
would call you at 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey,
Yeah.
dude, bring a shovel. Like
Yeah.
so, or you want to drive. But
Yeah.
that's the thing. I've got friends
Yeah.
that I've been friends with over 30 years,
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah.
And even like we're talking about the old pros, like I still talk to some, they're on Facebook. We're Facebook friends. Billy Dixon's putting up a heap of photos at the moment from the Worlds when they're here in Brizzy in
Yeah.
80, 89.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking at that and you're like, oh, that was a crazy time. The world
Yeah.
titles came to Australia, like
Yeah.
everybody freaked out.
Yep.
So
And we're
it's
about to have and we're about to have that again, as
at the
and
same place.
at the same place, and our kids in Australia get to, and adults too,
Yeah, yeah.
get to experience that. And that's really cool.
That's going to be
That's
dope.
really cool.
Going to
So
be dope.
yeah, no, look, it was cool, man. They ran it, like I said, they ran a good show. it's not an easy thing, I'm sure, to get six tracks to all sort of coordinating with each other and making sure that it all runs as seamlessly as it did. I got a bit of a kick out of it. Shameless plug. We sponsored one of
We
the
did.
classes,
We
10
did.
girls.
It was
Um,
nice. Thank
it,
you to everybody that
no, that was cool, and it was cool just to sort of hear our names sort of get called out. But that's that's just us,
as
you know,
people.
as people and putting back into putting back into the sport.
We
We don't we didn't do it for the accolade. It was just it was a cool opportunity. And it was really cool. And I had a heap of people sort of stopping me throughout the week
yeah,
and going,
yeah.
"Oh man, we heard you." Even a few people sort of saying, "Oh." A few people that I've known for a while too come up to me and said,
Yeah.
"Oh, we didn't even know you had a podcast." And then we heard it getting called out and we, sort of tuned
Check
in.
it
So,
out.
but it's just another kink in the chain of community
Well, that's
and it
exactly right.
being, yeah,
Well, we support BMX, like
yep,
even doing this, but we appreciate the support and
yes.
even that little kink in the chain, that little link in the
One
chain.
little link in the chain, yep,
We want to be part of that,
yep,
and that's why we've got some good guests for
yep,
this year, and not just riders, people from
yep,
the industry and
yep,
coaches and stuff.
yep. Clubs,
And
yep, yep.
we really like, I mean, like our mission statement is we just want to make BMX rad. Like we
Rad,
just want to
yep.
make BMX
And
and,
people get and make people stoked on BMX. Yep,
laugh and
yep,
smile and
yep,
but
yep,
get some information too. That's
yep,
important. We
yep.
don't leave too many people astray.
Beautiful. No, so man, it was like it was cool. Yeah, the racing was unreal.
It was, man. It
Some of
was.
the
It was.
internationals, like I'm trying to think off the top of my head who were the ones that came over. So we had Chris, and then obviously we had a couple of people, a couple of Americans, in the girls.
Yeah.
I'm sort of drawing a bit of a blank there. Um,
And we had the brother and sister, the Brits.
yes, that's correct. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, now I can't even think of their
I
names.
know, I'm doing the same. I've gone blank. I've
Are
gone
we
blank.
allowed to? Are we allowed to like look
Yeah,
like
Ava.
up?
I was trying to think. Sorry, I get her name confused. Ava Cawley with Delaney Vaughan. I know they sound completely different, but
Well, it depends on how your brain is
but
working.
yeah, I know my brain's not. Yeah, my brain's not wired correctly at all. I usually have to jump start it most days. Um,
I'm hearing you.
yeah, so Ava Cawley was the name I was
Yeah.
thinking of. So it was cool, man. It was
And
cool that she
she
came
won
over
the
and
super class, man. She
she
was
won
the
the Superclass women. Yep. And
yeah,
then obviously,
Bella Schramm
yeah,
and
and yeah, Steph Alexander. Shout out to Steph.
yeah, man.
Melbourne girl, Knox BMX Club. She got second in the girls. So and this is her first full year of riding Superclass,
Top fuelers,
like
yeah.
elite. So man, she did really good.
Mm.
She did really good. And then obviously Isabella Schramm, another rider that did really good, man. And I'm sort of hoping for big things for her this year. She's been coming up to Shep and doing a fair bit of riding and training with little Mia Webster.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah,
She's a pocket rocket, man.
yeah.
She can ride. She's got mad skills.
And
She can jump. Yeah, she was yeah.
and I was stoked because Mia supported BSX
Yes,
and
100%. Yep.
I just sort of because I was doing the commentary and she was doing practice and I just said congratulations on you getting a ride with Rift
Yeah, yeah. Well
PCD.
deserved. Yep.
Well, and she's like thank you so much and I'm
Yep.
like no, like I just think that's such a great fit.
Yep.
And shout out to Craig and Grant,
Yep.
awesome guys. I'm just not saying that I've known them for a long time now,
Yep.
and
Yep.
they've always just been so nice, so friendly, and
Yeah.
just and so give a lot to the sport also.
They do, man. They
And
do.
and
Yep.
and Rift, I mean, it's an awesome brand, and I
Yep.
got to meet the owner when I was at Grands, Rich.
Yep. Yep.
thinks I'm a funny dude, so that's all
Yep.
right. But
Yep.
yeah, no, and I just think Mia, like, and you've kept an eye on her also, and just she was, sort of wasn't. She was riding an old bike, and
Yeah,
all
she
that.
really was, man. She really
Yeah,
was. I had a couple of discussions with someone else sort of last year, sort of just like,
yeah,
how
yeah,
maybe we could try and do something for her or give her some help. And then obviously Grant and Craig, those guys sort of stepped in and
yeah,
yeah, they've given her an opportunity. I know that she's super keen to get over to some World Cups this year, which is cool for her, man. Because like I said,
yeah.
she's a really nice kid.
Very, very
Um,
approachable.
Very approachable. She's been doing some coaching. My young one actually did a coaching session with her this morning at
Wow.
Shep, which is really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, she can really Layla really she sort of really
Fine.
relates to me. Yeah, yeah, they sort of really yeah, connected there. So that's really cool. She likes
Yeah.
spending time with her. So
Yeah. That's
yeah, and
that's
look,
half the
and
battle.
the girls racing man was top shelf
Ooh,
last
jumping
year.
the big knock stars.
Yeah,
And
man, of course. Yeah,
yeah,
unreal.
love
Yeah,
it.
so good. So
And
good.
that
So,
Kiwi girl that had the like she landed and she done like the
yeah.
spin. Oh, talk about
Yeah.
do not pass go. Do not
Yeah.
collect $200, man.
Yeah. Nah,
Do not go buy a lottery
the
ticket.
girls, yeah, the girls
Oh, I love it.
really turned it on. So, it's really
Girls
cool.
racing in the last
Yeah.
5, 6 years has
Yeah.
been top shelf. And I'm saying that from a spectator and a lover of BMX. I think it's awesome. And
Yeah.
just think the way because the girls, they've had to, push the envelope
Yep.
to get the recognition. They got to work harder for the recognition. And we
Yes,
all know girls race harder.
they do. Yep.
That's a well-known fact. They'll bang
Yep.
bars. They'll
Yep.
chop each other out of the
Yeah,
gate.
they're gnarly. They're gnarly.
Even
Yeah.
off the 8 meter, they'll chop
Yep.
each other hard. I remember
Yep.
seeing what was it, Caroline Buchanan and Lauren Reynolds for that spot for Tokyo at
Yep.
Shep,
Yep.
and they were chopping each other out of the
Yeah.
gates so hard because
Doing
it
what
was
you have to
either
do. Yeah.
one or the other.
Yep. Doing what you have to do. So, no, it was really cool, man. It was good to see those girls sort of yeah battle it out. Like I said, it's a shame that Taya got injured
Yeah, yeah,
on the first day because it would have been cool to see her in the mix. Sienna Powell also rode. She
yep.
didn't do all the rounds.
No,
But yeah, no, it was just yeah, man, it was just good racing by the girls.
yeah,
Good racing by the girls. Yeah.
and the boys, mate, the boys. When
Yeah, man. Look, every year they sort of come back look, it's really cool. Obviously, we have the in Victoria, we sort of have the top, you might have the top three, four guys. Like we got Josh Jolly and we got Bodie. Bodie wasn't racing this one. I think he was overseas on a holiday.
oh, nice,
So he wasn't there. But yeah, to watch, yeah, like I said, Josh Jolly, Joel Marsh, Hayden
Fletch,
Fletcher, that Chris Alden, even another young bloke
Preston
that did,
Murray,
yeah, Preston Murray from South Australia. He did
Cam
pretty good
Gaff,
too.
yeah,
Josh Swiatek. Shout out to Josh. I know he does listen to this actually. That
yeah.
he won Casey, and I Casey's not an easy track, man. It's a big track. Like it's probably
And he's like tall, so he'd be like a sail.
yeah. He was
Sorry, Josh.
he was catching the wind, but and that
Yeah,
wind was gnarly, man.
yeah,
That not
man.
like I said, I was on the couch and
And
I was feeling it.
I'm not just saying,
Yeah,
he's a super nice kid.
yeah,
And him and, Josh McDermott and
yeah,
their partners, they all came up to me at us at the Aussies, and they
yeah,
were saying they were huge fans.
yeah, yeah. Love it.
They
So
got it,
yeah,
groupies. And
shout out to Josh for taking the win.
yeah, man, that's
That one.
awesome.
I think that was to be fair. I think that was the only round that Josh Jolly didn't win. I think Josh got a sweep on all the other rounds, but
But
Joel Marsh, all that man, them dudes are all just super fast. And the thing I like about Track Attack too is the variety. There's
yeah,
like the tracks are all different,
completely
all
different.
completely different. There's not two tracks in that whole series that are the same, or similar. Um,
Yeah, and I
yeah,
think the thing is, I mean, look, you can have a little bit of a home track advantage, but
yeah,
in saying that, if you're racing super class, whatever, I mean, I think whatever class you're riding, you got to bring your A game for track
yep,
attack.
yep, Yep. Every race. Yeah.
And I think, going back, being the old man that I am, the old Metro Plate, the old War of the Stars, those rounds, and it is good to see now that we've got the best of the West and
Yep.
all those sort of things. And even I remember, like back when the state titles was more like, I think it was like 3 rounds or 4 rounds
Right.
back in the day.
Yep.
So you rewarded the best overall rider, a bit
Most
like track attack.
consistent, the better
You had to
consistent
be
rider.
consistent.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I think it was three
Yep.
rounds. Correct me, fact check me,
Yep. Fact check.
whatever.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
I do remember it was over a few rounds, and I think we used to Northern Rivers and all this, and we had these series where
Yeah.
we'd all go, oh man, we got to go to Echuca this week.
Yep.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
let's race Echuca, and then the following week it was have to go across the Shep to do the Northern Rivers round, or you go to Melbourne and do one of the rounds of Metro Plate. But we all wanted the series trophy, the stick the plaques on and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. And then, I
Yeah.
mean, I've still got my track attack. I've got Metro Plate from 1980. I mean, my War of the Stars from like 1987 under my
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah.
Like still,
Yeah. 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 It rewarded consistent
yeah,
riding. Yeah.
so much fun. And
Yeah.
that road trip to get there was part of the journey.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
No, definitely. So no, they those guys really turned it on.
yeah.
The Masters was a bit of a, I don't know, it was a bit of a
What?
it was a bit of a flop. Let's call it for what it is. Like there was only I think there was only like a couple of guys that did all rounds.
Yeah,
But then some guys would do it at one round and then they wouldn't do the next round. They drop back to H class or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
But look, like I said, nothing to take away from those guys. There was some good racing. I mean, like the last round, there was battle with a couple of Bendigo guys, actually Clofty and Perry, Zach
Well,
Perry and
the
Benny
boys,
Cloft. Yeah, they were battling, man. They were in it, and
I was actually like, if you are listening, Zach, maybe he is. I don't know. Like, I watched Zach ride, and I know he's sort of been focusing on his boys, and they had they got a little fella, little Xavier. Shout out to Zave, and I was like, I was watching him ride at Knox, and I went, "Where's this come from?" Like,
yeah,
double mat. Like he was
yeah.
riding,
He was
without
hauling. He was
he was
hauling.
hauling,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
does that boy need a little? He needs to have a little cup test. No, not really. But like, I'm stoked for him because
Yeah,
he did go through a period where he was like, yeah, I'm not real fast. I'm not training. I'm just
yeah.
focusing on the
On the
boys.
kids. Yeah,
And
yeah,
he turned up to the track and he'd have his what do you call it's on his yeah, it just wasn't in his race gear, just in his
yep,
work gear. And
yep,
he's sort of, I was like, come on, bro. He had his Crocs on and,
yeah,
are you riding tonight? Nah, man. Nah, I'm just not feeling it. And
yeah,
that was on for a while. And
yeah,
and it's like, oh, we all need a break. But just to see him, get, and I'm like, where's this come from?
yeah. No,
Like,
he rode really good.
and I
He
was
rode
just
really
like,
good.
it's just good, because I
Yeah,
remember when he sort of came back like pre-COVID, sort of when we're there. And that's kind of when I met him, and watching him ride back then, I was like, he was just crazy,
yeah,
and it was just good to see him really happy with how he was
yeah,
riding
yeah.
and
No, he put
having
it. He
fun.
put it all together. Yeah.
And Ben pushes him at, Gay.
Yeah, they train together and
They
ride
do,
together.
yeah.
So yeah, no, that was cool. And then obviously, yeah, like I said, the kids. I mean, there's too many kids classes to talk about.
Mm.
But yeah, the competition was really stiff. A lot some kids from Singapore.
Yeah.
I don't know who this kid was, but did you see the 10-year-old kid jumping the doubles at Knox?
Yeah, man.
The kid's 10
He's
years
10
old.
years old. Yeah.
Like what?
That's the
What?
evolution.
I
That's,
know, I
you know what
know.
I'm saying? Like this
Yeah,
happens, and then you go, okay, so I don't know, the goalposts are here.
yeah.
Then you start seeing I mean,
But
and
all that will do. So this is someone can fact check me here, right? This is my understanding. So the kids from overseas, he's moved to Australia, to Melbourne,
yeah,
and to race BMX,
yeah,
and he does mountain bike and a few other things.
yeah.
But that kid was like nothing I'd ever seen before,
Well,
right?
we hadn't. I
Well, no, I'd never seen him because
yeah, you
I
know
didn't
what I
even
mean?
know who he
Like it's
was.
like,
But
oh,
what I love about that is because there's some really good kids in that 10 years boys, like Murphy Cooper and a
yeah,
few of
yeah,
these other
man.
kids, man. These kids are jets. Like they are jets.
100%.
Just gonna elevate the
Gonna
level.
turn
Like
it into the jet stream.
bring the level up, you know?
We're all
And
gonna get into the jet stream, man.
this is where our next lot of Josh Jollies and
Joel Clarks and all
Joel
those
Clarks
guys.
and all these, you know what I mean? That's where
Yeah,
the next lot of these guys sort of come from. So no, it was really cool to see. Couple of New Zealand kids, little Hendy,
yeah, yeah.
Kuruka. I probably
What's
just
it,
butchered
hey?
that. Sorry,
Well, like,
sorry
come
to
on,
his old
bro.
man.
Yeah, that's it. Oh,
But
it's
but
awesome,
those,
people.
a lot of those kids they raced up an age group. They're
Yeah,
10 boys racing up in 11s and 12s, man,
I
and just
saw him,
killed it. Yeah,
and I saw him wearing their kit, like their country kit.
yeah,
You know, like,
awesome.
and I'm like, I love
Love
that.
it. Love
Yeah,
it. So it really did have a real international flavor
flavor.
for
Yeah,
sure. For sure. Yeah, no, it was really cool.
yeah, man.
The other thing they did was cool. They had a couple of raffles with the 110s.
Yeah, man.
I think Honda through maybe
Honda.
through Hogs or whatever jumped
Yeah,
in
man.
and sort of sorted that out. So it was a couple of raffle prizes. So a couple of 110s. So that was I just thought that was cool. Something different. You know what I mean? It was
Bro,
cool.
man.
Yeah, I just thought it
Keep
was
it
cool.
interesting.
Keep it interesting. Yep.
You
So
know, we don't
no.
have to cut. We don't have to have the, as we say, the cookie cutter BMX.
Yep.
And it's good to see, BMX is, in a way, is thinking outside of the bike box,
Of the square box. That's exactly
the
right.
square
Yep.
box.
Exactly.
And I
Yep.
think that it
Yep.
takes a lot. And you and your job, and you got a pretty, to think out of the box that you're working in all the time
Yeah.
takes it takes a lot of energy.
Takes a lot of energy. Yeah. Yeah.
And in that comfort zone, and go, hey, let's take a risk, and let's
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
And even like the thing we're talking about with the kids being able to race and then watch the junior superclass and stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's different.
Because and also too for them to be able to watch that, those especially with the junior super class as well, because super class can feel like a lifetime away. But for the 11, 12, 13, 14 year olds that can watch the junior super class,
Mm.
they're like, oh, this is not that far away from me. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like a couple of
it's
more years and
attainable.
there'll be a couple more years. So, yeah, look, that's pretty much my wrap up of Track Attack.
Love it.
It was good.
It was real good.
Will we be back next year? Absolutely. It was really cool. And yeah, we enjoyed it as a family. We enjoyed it, so it was good.
I think they got to, what was it, 25 years of track attack. Was that like
Yes, I
last
think
year or the year
last year I
before?
think, yeah.
Last year. Now that's testament, you know.
Yep. Yep.
But then, they haven't rested on their laurels. They've gone, okay, cool. We still need to raise the bar. We
Yep.
still need to try new things. And I think, from what I understand, it's gonna have a slight change next year, but let's not put the mic on.
Let's not dwell on that. Yeah,
Nah,
if that even is the case, yeah.
even if
Yeah.
that is the case,
Yeah.
let's talk about.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I just hope, and I guess, with more exposure, and like say, like, we've got international. We've always
Yeah.
kind of had an
Yeah.
international flavor every now and
Yeah.
again, but I think this year was like, that
Yeah.
was dope.
It was good.
You
It
know,
was good. Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
know, and they were like from different age,
Yep. Different age groups.
and
Yep.
they
Yep.
came up and supported BSX also.
Yes. So that's obviously the next thing. So for people that don't understand, you probably have or don't know about it, or you've probably heard us talk about it. BSX is like a separate event.
Hmm.
But the thing that I love the most, and correct fact check me again if I'm wrong here, but I think this is the first time that the Eastern region guys really got behind Track Attack and promoted it as an event. Is that fair to say? I don't know if that's been a thing
I
or
I think maybe there was a period, and like I said,
like yeah.
there's
Like I said,
people
yeah,
above my pay grade that will be
yeah,
able to answer that question.
yeah,
And
yeah,
if you have the time and the gumption, please write in the comments,
yeah,
or like, let us know, because I know there was a period of time, I guess maybe when the whole BMX Victoria slash BMX Australia, I think there was more of a friendlier approach.
Yep.
But now, as you say, I think, like you say, it was promoted more.
Yeah,
Um,
it actually was. Like it really
yeah.
was.
So
Yeah.
they, for whatever reason, I mean, it's not saying it hasn't been, but and we're always thankful because, as you say, it's six race meetings in 9 days,
Yep.
and if you throw that in, it's seven races in
Yeah,
9 days,
it is.
right?
Yep.
And so you race Saturday, Sunday, and then we're asking people on a day off to come up the hill and support our charity event because it's a charity
It
event
is
and
a
we're
charity
raising
event.
money
Yep.
for the Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne.
Yep.
And then obviously on the Tuesday, you're back to normal racing at
Yep.
night in the
Yep.
afternoon. And then obviously you're racing Thursday and then back. So that day, the third day of, we all know racing 2 days in a row is pretty how you going.
Yep.
But then to turn up on a Monday and then go, hey, right around this crazy little two-laned, slalom track,
Yep.
it's some people, but everybody that comes up, whether it's their first time or their 100th time, they just
Yep.
have the best time.
Yep.
Now, this year was a little bit special slash different because, like we spoke at the start of the show, that the CFA were out doing CFA things, right?
Yep.
They were fighting fires, and they're on point. So normally we have the King Lake West CFA Fire Brigade. They come and they cook burgers and egg and bacons, lolly bags, drinks, and the money that they raise goes straight into their fundraising fund. And so this year, what happened is the Whittlesea Lions Club came up the hill and they put on the barbie. They had all the facility and they were cooking some awesome egg and bacons. The money that they made for the day, they donated straight back to the CFA.
Yeah. That's
And
awesome.
that's rad. And
That's
that's,
that's
again,
community. That's community. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And like I had, it was, they kind of did a faux sausage, egg, and bacon muffin thing.
Oof.
Oh, bro.
Oof.
And the BSX t-shirts were white. I'm like,
You're
this
gonna
is
get
dangerous. I like had to
you're
sit
gonna get
down
sauce.
and
You're gonna get
and
sauced down
lean
this
forward
yoke.
hard.
Your shirt would have been white, yellow, and red by the end of
Oh,
that.
if
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go sit in a corner by myself, lean forward.
Take your shirt off.
Well, yeah, we don't want to scare the kids, but like it was nearly like that. And
Yeah.
that's another thing. T-shirts, like, so they printed off 100 t-shirts and they sold out halfway through the event. So that's amazing because
Yeah.
that again that goes into the fundraising
It's all
coffers.
money to the charity. Yeah.
And so Shane, the purveyor, the landlord, the kingpin is put out a thing on social media on BMX Ultra. They're going to do another run of t-shirts. So
Yeah.
go out and grab a. If you haven't already got one, go
Yeah.
get one
Yeah.
because the design is dope. Like if
Yeah.
we'll put a
It's
thing
really
up on a
cool.
promo. We'll put it somewhere,
Yeah.
overlay it, whatever. And the thing is, 100% of the proceeds they raise goes to the Royal Children's.
Yeah.
And this year, I think, what is it, 21 years we've
Yeah.
been doing it. We are close to 100 grand.
Yeah.
So we were really
Has
like,
there been, I don't know if he's sort of released a total tally yet. I'm not
not yet.
sure.
No, no,
So,
no.
because there was a bit of talk that they've cracked 100K. So that would
Yeah,
be really cool. But we'll let Shane announce that. But yeah, no, it's cool that you talked about the t-shirts because yeah, I saw yesterday or the day before that they are available to order. So
yeah.
anyone that's got social media, obviously just jump on bmxultra.com
Check it out.
or Instagram or BSX. I think yeah, he's got a separate page for
Yeah,
BSX
best X,
on
thanks, bro.
the Instagrams and the Facebooks. So yeah, if you want to support a good cause, and it's supporting
The
supporting kids, but
yeah,
it's also part of the BMX ecosystem that we're calling it.
yeah, yeah.
Grab yourself a t-shirt, because
Because they're
they're
rad.
pretty rad. Yeah, they're pretty
Rad.
rad.
I mean,
So
what's this one from?
yeah.
2025.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just wear them around.
Layla was wearing that t-shirt today.
Yeah,
She got the same one. So, unfortunately for me, I didn't get to go. I've just had, yeah,
we
like I said,
missed you.
Yeah, I missed it too, bro. Trust me. But work, yeah, obviously work was my priority. Sort of coming
Yeah,
back after a bit of a break, but a bit of a hectic start to the year. So, yeah, I was spewing that I missed it.
yeah,
Because I do love it. Loved jumping on the mic last year and doing some commentary. But I believe I had a stunt double that jumped in my absence
yeah.
and
We
did such an awesome job
yeah,
on the microphone.
yeah, and it was fun. It was not funny, ha ha. It was like there's been like without getting too personal or anything, there's been a couple of years where, I, for whatever reason, too much pressure on myself or whatever, and I stress about how, and over the years I've gone through a few different commentators for different, and people move on and this and commitment and all that. And for whatever reason, this year, man, it felt good.
Yeah,
Me and Mal, we just Mal, yeah, Mal.
yeah,
I don't know, Paige, we just gelled, man. I don't know what it was. I think it was, and I just had so much fun. And
yeah,
then obviously previously, and you had whispered in my ear about Nick
yeah,
Shooter,
yeah,
and he had a real burning desire to even commentate one race at BS.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm like, we need to facilitate. This is it's the dream factory, bro. We
yeah.
need to, and
We're like
I've
we're
got to know,
kind of like make a wish for like BMX people.
but
Yeah,
he is someone I would love to get on the show because he is so
bro,
funny. And
just the best, one of
yeah,
the
he's the
best
best
guys.
dude,
Yeah,
man.
I love
And
him. Yeah,
he's a northern monkey. He's from the part of the UK where my grandparents and my mum and that are from. So we have a bit of an affinity there. And
yeah,
I just get along like with him like a house on fire.
yeah,
And just sort of I'm like, oh, we need to make this happen. And I sort of buzzed it past Shane, and he's like, yeah, yeah, what
yeah,
that's your game,
yeah,
whatever. And I sort of because I was going to ride, and I thought I'll race him while I'm racing in the afternoon. Get him on the mic, and then I just went. He's doing so well. He's so happy, and
yeah,
I just was so stoked, and he did so good.
yeah. Unreal.
Where I'm
Yeah.
thinking maybe my number's up, bro. Maybe I need to. No, I don't know. I mean, if
Nah,
Shane still
nah.
wants me to do it, that's fine. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm a bit
nah.
like the furniture, but
Definitely, man. Definitely. But
But
yeah,
in saying that though, I just love seeing people get their enjoyment and to the and he's got experience in that and he loves the sport. He's he comes from a mountain biking background,
yeah,
but and it's funny because I was riding with him there before the event, and he's like, "Oh, I'm trying to learn this, this BMX thing, like trying to."
yeah.
And we were doing laps and having so much fun.
I didn't know he
And
was French, but yeah.
I was there. Oh, okay. Maybe because I'm looking at the French jersey above me.
Maybe.
Maybe,
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, mate, you know what I mean? Yeah, anyway,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
that's better.
That
That's
was really
better.
bad. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
bit better, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll have a packet of crisps, please. Pint Guinness.
Yeah.
But no, and he listens to the podcast, so he's gonna neck me, after this. He's like, I don't sound like that. But he was doing this thing where he was making my GoPro turn off all the time.
Yeah.
Because I go, it doesn't understand accents, bro. Like,
Nah, he's such a good dude, man.
oh,
He's such a
he's
great
so
guy.
much
Yeah.
fun. He's so
Yeah.
much
I've
fun.
known him for a while since yeah, he's got a daughter the same age as Layla and
Yeah, and his
they've raced
boys
together for a
are,
few years.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
he's an F1 nut like
Yeah.
me. So we're
Super
talking,
polite, super nice
yeah, but he's
guy.
just a
Yeah.
rad guy.
Yeah. Such a
Like,
cool dude. And that really come across in the live stream. So once again, missing out, not being there, you can still tune in and watch it. So while I was at work, I might have.
while you're at the coal face,
I don't think my boss listens to this, but yeah.
shout out to Harvey.
Shout out to Harvey if you're listening, brother.
Probably in
I
Italy.
highly doubt it.
You
But
never know.
yeah, I just sort of had it running in the background on my desktop while I was working. So it was cool, man. Cool to watch them racing. I just, I mean, like, yeah, the pros are cool, but I like watching them on big tracks. I just like watching the kids, man. I just love watching the
Nah, shred,
kids
man. Nah, shred.
ripping. the just the Freddie Coots and the Cooper, the Murphy Coopers, and
Man,
the
well, even
Little Desi Brown doing 1-footed cans on his little 12-inch
18 inch.
dirt jump. I don't know what it was, man. The kid's like 2 foot tall,
Yeah, and even like
but he rips. That's
Bailey Perry, even like
yeah,
just throwing whips and
bro. That's BMX, right? Like
right there.
this gets back to it's just
It's
BMX,
just
and it's
BMX.
just dudes having fun on bikes, and
No, shred, man.
it's not serious. It's for a good cause. It's in a pretty beautiful part of the world.
It is.
For a lot of people that haven't been up to King Lake, it's an amazing. It's they call it God's
National
country.
Forest
In
and
a national forest, it's amazing. Um, and yeah, it's just an event like no other. And I feel like a bit of a hypocrite because I talked it up and talked about how cool it is, and I can't wait for it. And then obviously work, obviously
doesn't matter.
took took
You were there
precedent.
in
I was there
spirit,
in
man.
spirit. Um, yeah, I can't talk enough about it. So no, it was cool. It was
And
cool.
we love it.
Yeah, we
And
love it.
and Shane to keep an eye on that BSX face because he does have ride days.
I think you had one today. I think they were having a
He
ride.
did.
Yeah, I think they're having a ride day today.
Shout
Yeah.
out to David Page,
Hmm.
torn Achilles
You're kidding.
mm,
What, today?
today. Yeah,
Up there?
up there. I don't know the deets at the moment. I will keep you posted. I do have a message on my phone. He was asking me yesterday if I was keen to go up there, and I said, look, nah, like it just, I don't know, without sounding like a la just
Mm.
the hot weather and stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Kind
the
of,
same, man. I'm not,
yeah, yeah, and I just,
I'm built for the South Pole, mate. I'm not built for I'm not
and
built for the Sahara.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. And and I was like, it's a 2 hour drive up there, right? And I just, yeah, I've got to, anyway, I just thought,
Yeah.
well, anyway, enough excuses.
Yeah.
And it probably does come down to coin too, like
Yeah.
sometimes I don't have the money and
Yeah.
I'm not shirking from that either. But and I said, oh bro, and he lives just out of Epilock there, so it's a
Yeah.
little bit closer. And he's been riding a new bike, an S&M.
I saw that. Yeah, yeah, I saw
And
that. Yeah.
we were talking about it during the week, and he just said it's just like night and day, and he's doing
Yeah.
transfers out of the second line, and I'm seeing some pictures, and I've known Pagey, I think since 2001 when I first
Yeah.
came back, he was down at Franger, and he's on
Yeah.
the Frankston, sorry, and he was on the Norco team and
Yeah.
throwing big T-bogs over the big doubles there. And that was a powerhouse team, the old Norco team. And
Yeah.
just he had so much skill and we know he's been sick and stuff like
Yeah.
that with his kidneys and stuff. So to see him having fun up there and jumping and all that and just smile on his dial and I got that text message this afternoon, and a picture of Casualty, and I've been trying to contact him. So if you're listening, Dave, or you know, sending healing vibes and
Yeah, bro.
man
Sorry to hear
hugs and
that. Sorry
knuckles,
to hear
and
that, man. He's such a nice guy.
he's so good, like
Yeah.
such a good guy, and
Yeah.
he like I said, I know we've got this list that's growing of people that we want to come onto this podcast as a guest, and he is
Yeah.
someone I really, really want to have on.
He's got a pretty crazy story. And like I said, obviously he's got something now that he's dealing with, but he's dealt with some pretty heavy stuff
Yeah.
with his health.
Health.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we probably shouldn't talk about it without him here, but
No, we just,
definitely, yeah, just a
sprinkling it.
little bit of
And
salt.
so just everybody out
Yeah.
there, just,
Yeah, shout out to Paige, and
shout out to
maybe if you got
Pagey.
him on social, shoot him a message
Yeah, yeah.
and
Just let him
just
know we're thinking of
yeah,
him
thinking of him, yeah.
and
Thinking of your brother, because that sucks, because yeah,
hopefully it's
yeah.
it's
Because he
not.
was really just starting to find his feet. Pardon the pun. I know it's probably a crappy pun, but he was really starting to just find his feet again.
He was, and
He
he's so
was.
happy.
Yep, 100%, man. Stoked, stoked.
I had the
Yeah. So
best time with him at the Aussies, man.
yeah, no,
Hanging out, just
cool
making
dude,
me laugh. Just
cool dude. Yeah,
and that's it, BMX family,
yeah, yeah,
And he said that he goes, it was so good that he had been away from the sport for a fair while,
yeah,
and he's come back,
Probably come back like he never left. Yeah.
and then he was sitting in with us, and just laughing, and he said, he goes, it made it so much more coming back and being, I guess we all have that
Yeah.
insecurity if you leave the sport and you come back, but
Yeah.
nothing like BMX family,
Yeah. He was
and
around some familiar faces. So
faces, and he had a
yeah.
blast. So
Yeah. No,
yeah, so
awesome.
shout out to you,
Shout to
Dave.
him. Yeah.
We're thinking about you,
Yeah.
mate, and
No.
but also like to turn it around and lift up the mood. Shout out to Hudson Daly, our man.
Yeah, because that's obviously the next thing. We've got a bit of BMX news to sort of digress.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
man. Just yeah,
such
we
super duper kid.
yeah, such a good kid.
Good
For
family.
those that sort of don't know, there's a young kid. Well, it's a whole family actually that races. So it's Hudson, Cordell, and Evelyn.
Yeah,
So Evelyn, I sort of know her through racing with my daughter. She's a current, well, two-time now. She's a two-time Australian champion.
yeah, yeah.
And super nice family.
Oh,
And
so
yeah,
good.
their oldest son Hudson, who just lives like when you say, people say, "Oh, I live and breathe BMX." Like you don't live and breathe BMX like Hudson Daly
No.
lives and breathes BMX. And
Yeah, man.
I say that lovingly to everyone that lives and breathes BMX.
Yeah,
But yeah, so he's raced on the on the factory speed line team for a few years now with
yeah,
Layla.
yep.
And he just got he just got an upgrade to the factory, the World Supercross team. So,
Yep.
and the reason why we're talking about it is it's a cool thing within our sport. That young kid from Australia, through dedication,
Hard work.
hard
Yep,
work,
yep,
the kid, and this is what we talked about before. We talked about social media. There's good things and bad things. The kid posts like a demon, but he
yep.
doesn't post. He doesn't post rubbish. He
Nope.
just posts little clips of him training. He's got a little backyard track at his house.
Oh, it's so good.
So good, and the kids promoted the. I'm going to say it. The kids promoted the crap out of Supercross, the brand,
Yeah, man.
for years now, for
Because
years,
he
and
loves
he
it.
because he loves
Genuinely.
it, and he
Genuinely.
just got rewarded
Yep.
with the factory ride on the factory team. And like I said, why I think that's important to talk about, not just because we love the dailies because they're really good people.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out to Chris and Beck and the kids, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
they're great people,
They are.
and but it just goes to show you that we all talk about the fun and just it's all about the fun and it doesn't matter where you finish. But we've got a young kid here that I think he decided 3 or 4 years ago
Yeah,
that's where he wanted to be. He's like, he made the decision. I want to get on this team. This is what I
yeah,
really want to do.
yeah.
And he worked and he just kept chipping away, chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. His results, yeah, man. I think he's got like three world, and I think he might have won it. Look, fact check me in the comments if you want. I think he might have won a couple of a couple of Aussies.
Yeah,
But
cruiser and stuff like
yeah,
that.
but
Yeah,
then there's also been a couple of other, and then but he's also had to deal with a few other kids in his class
yeah,
that have sort of caught up and and are doing good things as well.
yep.
But he just kept chipping away, just kept chipping away, kept turning up, kept doing his thing, and
Yeah,
he's
man.
been rewarded for that. And I think as much as we bang on about, it should all just be for fun and whatever. And that is true, but we can also talk about and acknowledge that hard work
Pays off.
pays off and gets you what you
Because
want.
I
And
think, too, you're right. And yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
no, not at all.
Because I think, you got the creative juice. And like, I think, like you and I, we have a personal connection with this family slash writer. You and I are both ex Speedline riders.
Yep,
I'd like to think I'm still part of the family. But the thing is also is BMX teaches you so many, like we say, fun, right?
yep,
And you can go whatever you put into the sport, if whatever you're comfortable with putting in, whether you want to just race weekends or clubbies or
yep,
whatever, or you want to go full throttle, and raced worlds and travel and aim to do World Cups. It's all on you, and that's
Yeah.
that's that's accessible if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Now, that's the way they're going, but they do it in a way, and we're not critiquing, the way they do things, but they do it they always seem like they're having heaps of fun,
Yeah.
and he made the decision, you know what, I'm gonna put my best foot forward and I'm gonna have a crack
Yeah.
because he loves the brand and
Yeah.
that's the top echelon, right?
Yeah.
And he loves Supercross so much that he wants to actually represent them. It's no different if you were an AFL kid and you wanted to play for Carlton or something, right? And that if that's your dream, right? What
Yep.
do? You play footy, train
Yep.
hard, and you do all that
Yep.
stuff, and then you get drafted.
Yep.
And it was, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having that,
Yeah.
and he's
No.
achieved that. And he's
No.
been on Bill's radar. And,
Yeah.
obviously, it was kind of cool because when we were there, when I was in the States late last year, his name came up. And, I found out then that, there was a thumbs up, but,
Yeah.
but I didn't, I obviously I heard it from Bill himself,
Yeah.
and but he's had to, he's we're at the bottom of the world,
Yeah.
but he just amplifies what it is to be a person
Yeah.
that believes in a brand and
Yeah.
wants to ride for that brand because they love
They
it.
love it. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't ride for Profile if I didn't believe in their product and if I
Mm.
didn't
Yeah.
love it. Same with
Yeah.
Supercross. I love Super. I've been riding Supercross for over 16 years.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that,
Yeah.
right? And it's because I believe in the brand
Yeah.
and I believe in what it stands for. And I
Yeah.
think, and Hudson is cut from the, and you're the same too, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we believe in what we believe in
Yeah.
and we're all in. And
Yeah.
just to see him get that reward and,
Yeah.
like his parents sent me the, hey, we've got this. This is the photos we took. We can't say anything, but
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
really wanted to let you know. And Hudson, and I
Yeah.
was like, I was humbled as bro.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
super
chuffed,
cool. Yeah. That's
super,
super
and
cool.
I
Yeah.
appreciate even being
Yeah.
part of that
Yeah.
with their family. Such
Yeah.
a awesome moment. So yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to them.
Yeah.
You know those guys pretty well too,
I do. Yeah.
and I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to catching up with them in person. Obviously, when they come
Yeah.
here
They come
for
to
the
share.
Aussies,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we'll get
Yeah.
some photos with him. And he's, he went off the 8 meter with Ollie,
Yeah. I saw that. That was cool. That was
baby,
cool.
baby.
Yeah.
Like, love it. I'm
Yeah.
just, and that's what I mean. I mean, we just love seeing people happy and doing good.
Yeah.
I know it sounds a little bit cliche, but
Yeah.
bro, I
Yeah.
just I just love seeing stuff like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
I do
enough
too.
stuff
Yeah.
around that's not so good,
Yeah.
but to see these things in our
Yeah.
sport and just in life in
Yeah.
general,
Yeah.
I just love it,
And
man.
it's got to be celebrated. And
That's why we're here.
that's why we're here, And man, I wasn't going to do this, right? But
Go do it.
I'm
I dare you.
I'm going to use my kid as an example, right? And don't
No,
talk about it that much on
no,
this, right?
please.
But
Yeah.
what I'm trying to get at is so that this kid, my kid, she loves
Mhm.
BMX. She
Yeah,
just loves
yeah.
riding a bike. She loves riding a dirt bike. She loves riding a mountain bike.
Yeah, man.
But track attack this year,
Oh,
right? So
here we go. Yes.
2 years ago,
Yeah, man.
she got third. Last year, she got second. When we were away at Christmas time, she said to me, she's like, I really want to win this track attack. Like, I really want to win this.
Yeah, man.
Now, this is a kid that's never ever said to me, I want to go and win. She's always done, in my eyes, she's always done really well.
She's the BP, mate, the
But
quiet
right,
achiever.
right. But she's
Yeah.
never said to me, oh, I want to win. So
Yeah.
anyway, without talking about what she did, she did win this year, right? She won it.
It was like
She
a different child.
completely different kid, man.
Yeah,
Like
man.
I've never seen this kid ride like this. I knew she had it in her, but
We did.
all the pieces of the puzzle all finally come together,
Yeah, man.
right? And that's after 4 years of always being that, runner up or thereabout sort of kid. Now, I'm not saying that she's going to go on and take on the world now, but what I'm saying is it's just as important that we bang on about,
Milestones,
it
man.
being fun. Yeah, it's They should be celebrated.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm kind of trying to that's what I'm kind of
And
trying to
we
get
see that
at.
across the board,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, we
And
do. I want to see that celebrated, not just yeah, like celebrated. I think that's important because it shows and it comes on the back of, she's been doing training and she's been doing this stuff. No pressure to do anything, just like this is what you're doing. But it just goes to show you that if you do put your mind to something and you really work hard at it, then it can be achieved. And that for her, that was the, and for us as a family as well, that was the lesson that we sort of took away from that was, okay, you told yourself what you wanted to do, you worked towards it, and you made it happen.
it,
And I'm just saying this as in as a parent. I think it should be,
happy
yeah.
dad, bro. Happy dad.
I think it should be celebrated. Those little wins and the small.
100%. And I think because it's such a, like your daughter, like, I don't want to talk about your kid. No, like she loves BMX,
Yeah,
like, and I seen her ride at the skate park, and you're like, oh, she's got some skills there too, and just wants to ride, and she is a very quiet rider, as
yeah.
before she goes, doesn't say much,
Doesn't talk at all. Yeah,
doesn't really talk, and Jenko's the same,
yeah.
Jenko's, but in saying that, for them, that's how they, she's
That's how they
loving it,
deal with it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and I don't know, and to see, I remember seeing the first video that you posted up from one of the first two rounds, and I was like, whoa, it was, and even me, Uncle Doze, whatever, I'm like, that's killer. Like, and it literally, that was, I nearly said it. I nearly said it. Achilles heel.
yes,
No shout out. But no, that was kind of a kryptonite, the
yeah,
whole coming across thing. And,
yeah, yeah.
I heard you talk about it
Backing yourself. Yeah, backing
and
yourself. Yeah,
backing herself because
yeah,
she's strong. She's tenacious. She loves the BMX. It's not like she
yeah,
don't pedal
yeah.
and all that. And that was just that
The
was the
final
kryptonite.
piece of the puzzle. Yeah,
But you
yeah,
had an external, like
yeah,
people externally helped her find
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And yeah,
yeah,
there's nothing. I mean,
yeah,
I'm sure there's plenty of people out there. We love whoever we see in our travels, you and me,
yeah,
when we're around, and I'm sure whatever we see, we will call out as
yeah,
awesome,
yeah,
because that's really the premise of this
yeah,
potty.
yeah,
Like you said, it was, we want to call out all this cool stuff.
yeah. That's
Like you
happening.
say, the
Yeah,
10-year-old kid, the
yeah,
the
yeah,
the kid
yeah,
from Singapore
yeah.
jumping the pros
Yeah,
does, man. I mean,
no,
the
that's
pro
right.
double.
There was so many kids along the way, and I've probably said this before too. When you're a father of girls, and it's usually the order that the racing is, you tend to watch. I sort of know more about the girls than I do the boys. I know that might sound silly, but you kind of that's kind
No,
of where your focus is. But
yeah,
there was some really good racing. In the other girls, like I think she's 11. Miller Wrench and
yeah,
Kaylee McKee. And then you got Harla and the other girls and the 12 girls.
yeah, man.
Just watching those girls just going through it and but being rewarded because they all put in, you know what I mean? Being rewarded for their
Yeah,
hard work. But then, like I said at the start, there's other kids that are coming sixth, seven, eighth, like
yeah,
every
man.
race, and they're still coming off with a smile on their face.
So,
But
so you, so my question to you, and this is just from, so do you think that the girl racing, aka numbers, is healthy?
yeah, so we've always had, so in Victoria, like in our age, in Layla's age group, we've always had really, really strong numbers.
Yeah,
The track attack numbers this year were probably they were down a fair bit.
but as we spoke, it's
Yeah, but I
different.
think because people were probably saving their money and whatever else, and some girls only did a couple of
Right.
rounds. But I feel like the numbers are pretty strong
Yeah,
in
good.
the girls across all the age groups. So
Sick. Love it.
and I'm just loving that. Yeah, I'm just loving that there's girls out there doing their thing, and they're being rewarded for their hard work. Yeah.
I think, BMX, like when I was growing up, like it was fairly accessible. You could race in a flanny jeans and gardening gloves, and
Yeah.
an open face helmet
Yeah.
and a bike that was, I mean, you used to get your bike scrutineered, as long as the spokes were tight and you had bar ends
Barons. Yeah.
and brakes that worked, you pretty much were okay. And it was a really, I guess I don't want to say this, but like a blue collar workers
Yeah.
sport, you
Yeah.
know. Now it's such, the bikes are such precise,
Yeah.
finely engineered
Yeah.
race weapons
Yeah.
and the gear and all that. And it's not a cheap exercise.
Yeah.
And kids have so many sports to choose from now or
Yes.
interest, whether they
Yeah.
want to, play the violin or race BMX or whatever,
Yeah.
you know. So there's a lot of external things that are pulling kids all
Yeah.
over the place
Yeah.
because they have so much choice.
Yeah.
Now, where it was, I think, I played soccer and I raced BMX. That was
Yeah.
that was it, and I was happy with that. And kids do so much now. So to see kids and girls be in the sport and progress in the sport is so good to see,
Yeah.
man.
It really
You know,
is. Yeah.
and I just think it's so good, and it's just without it's a safe environment,
Yep.
and I don't think we are a drug and alcohol free sport,
Yep.
and I think that's a really good environment for kids to grow up in.
Yep. I agree.
And I don't want to sound like a nufty or whatever, but I just like that.
Yep.
It's something that's probably not spoken about either a lot, but yeah, it's a safe environment for kids, and in that aspect especially. And I just think it's a good place. Most BMX people, families, we all look after each other,
Of course.
you know.
Of
So,
course. Yep. Yeah.
we've all got each other's
Yeah.
back. So I just
Yeah.
think we got that going for us
Yeah.
too.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah,
So
man. Love it.
yeah, no, it's gonna be look, it's gonna be a big year, man. It's gonna be a big year for BMX in Australia.
And we want everybody that's listening to come along for the ride with us, no pun
Yep.
intended,
Yeah.
because it's going to be a big year for us too. I really feel that, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's gonna be a big year. And yeah, it sort of kicks off in Victoria. I know it kicks off in Victoria next weekend with the state series.
Yeah,
I haven't checked the results. I know that New South Wales state series kicked off today,
yeah,
which is good.
yeah,
Yeah, there'll be a fair bit of racing, obviously in the lead up to yeah, in the lead up to the Nationals. We had an open gate session at Shep today. Obviously we're
yeah,
still getting a lot of interest, people wanting to come and ride the track
yeah. I
before.
need to get over there and
Um,
have a pedal. I love your
yeah,
track.
come over, man. You know where we are. Come and find us. And yeah, so the track's in really good nick. Shout out to Dave Marsh and his crew, Cam and
Yeah, man. It
those
looks
guys, man,
so
for
good.
really yeah, looking after us in that respect and got the track dialed. Another little bit of a scoop, I think it should be landing in the next week or so. We're doing an upgrade on the 8 meter on the with the Pro Gate. So
Cool.
getting the new faster RAM. So it's pretty much a standard. I think there's a new standard now with the UCI with the ProGate with the
Yeah,
RAM. So we've got that coming. It should land in Shep in the next week or two. So
sick.
that's pretty cool. So we're trying to try and keep everyone updated with that. I think there will be a couple of little works maybe happening on the actual hill itself,
Yeah,
just to make sure everything's dialed, man. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it. We've got a round of a state series at Shepparton in a I don't know, month or two. I'm not sort of fully
yeah.
across the calendar
Might
yet.
I might get
Um,
myself over to that one.
yeah, I think you should. I think we'll get a fair bit of interest. I think we'll get a fair bit of interest
Yeah,
in
I
that
mean,
event. So
actually put my bike on the track and actually have a race.
yeah, come have a race. Yeah, yeah, for
Cool.
sure. So no, it'd
Cool.
be really cool, man. So no, looking forward to another big year of BMX, mate.
Me
And
too.
yeah, I'll try not to talk about my kid anymore because
No, no, it's
that
fine. And I and
that
I,
doesn't feel
I
comfortable with me doing that.
no, man, no, no, no,
But yeah,
no,
like I
no.
said, it was
We,
just more just we're all about the fun and whatever, but we need to celebrate the little wins and
nothing wrong
talk
with it.
about that. If you do you do make a bit of effort and commit yourself, you can achieve what you want to achieve. Won't always happen, but you're giving yourself the best
Yeah.
opportunity for it to happen if you
Even
do that.
happens when
So,
you're 54, bro, like me talking about me having a bit of a jump, you know,
yes, yes,
getting the 100+ kilos off the ground,
yeah,
but
but they're off the ground. Yeah,
they're off the ground. And I'm like 99% sure that I'm going to race the Aussies.
yes, that's what we want to
That's a
hear.
Scooby Scoop.
That's what we want to hear. So you'll
That's
have
all.
to
Yeah.
get yourself some accommodation sorted.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know a place that
Do you know
has,
anyone?
I
Yeah,
do.
I haven't booked mine yet, so yeah, I'll have to get
Yeah, I
around to
might have to
that.
talk to, there's some management. Yeah,
Anyway, we can take that offline. We can
we
talk about
can,
that.
because apparently this might be there could be a sweetener, thrown in the mix. But I'll probably have to message Kaz.
Yeah, yeah, take it up with the boss, mate. No good talking
Take
to
it up with the
me.
boss lady.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a gentle booking anyway,
yeah,
so
for sure. Yeah, soft booking, carryover booking, Car
carryover booking. Yeah,
carryover booking. All right,
we'll have to
sweet.
ask Layla too. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. All right,
cool.
brother.
Sounds good, bro.
Thanks, man. Sorry, guys, if we've waffled on, but it's the first show back.
Yeah, we
Um,
had to get our waffle out.
we had to get a waffle out. It'll be better from
We'll,
here on out. I
we'll
promise.
tighten it up. We'll tighten
Yeah.
it up next round. Yeah. We'll do a few more stretches before we
If
start. Yeah,
if not, stuff yous anyway. We're just doing what we're doing. Oh,
yeah. All right, fact check that.
all right. Put that in the comments. All right, brother. Love
Love ya.
ya. Peace out. Talk to ya.